What's going on?
Hello, how are you doing?
I am doing fabulous in Las Vegas. How is it in Colombia?
Oh, in Colombia is perfect weather, beautiful, not hot, not cold.
Happy Easter weekend. Happy Easter weekend.
Happy Easter weekend.
It is
Is it
crazy out
crazy in
here in
Las
Vegas.
Vegas right now?
It's crazy out here. It's muy caliente,
Mucho
mucho
calor.
sol. Oh my God. Crazy, crazy, crazy. So what is today's show about?
Well, today's show, okay, let me remind you what day is today. Today is April 17th. That does that click on you? You remember something that happened on April 17th? No?
April
See?
17th.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me a hint. Give me a hint.
Give me a hint. It was 2015.
Oh, first time I came to Colombia. Yes,
There you go.
yes, yes. Oh my God, how can I forget that? How can I forget that?
So
Oh my
today,
God.
7 years exactly from today, you came to Colombia for the very first time.
Yes, yes, it was crazy.
Why
I
did
was,
you decide to come to Colombia? What was that trip about?
I was 7 years younger. I was crazy.
Yeah.
Uh,
Are you were
actually
even
came,
crazier?
yes, came to Colombia for a marriage tour. A marriage tour, if you can believe that. I don't even know if they still have those, but yep, it was a
Yes,
marriage
they do.
tour. It was awesome. It was awesome. I would not trade it for the world. It was awesome.
And what is a marriage tour? What is
It's
it about?
crazy. It's crazy. Guys and ladies, I had never heard of this, never done this before. But actually, it was a tour set up for you to meet Colombian women that were looking to get married. So I mean, this was not like you just out meeting random women at a bar. These were women that actually were looking to get married. So I mean, it was pretty cool. And the notion was obviously to get married, but you were supposed to meet some contacts, make some friends, some pen pals, and talk to them back and forth. So it was definitely an awesome situation. It was awesome.
Okay. Was it when you say meet some women? How many? Do you remember how many women did you met in that
Well,
tour?
I completely screwed it up. I'm probably still the laughing stock of the whole experience because I only met one, I think one, maybe two. But the tour was set up.
Okay, but my point is when you come on a marriage tour, you gotta be prepared because you're gonna meet about 200 women.
Yes,
Met
yes, it
like
was.
200. You pick
Yes,
one,
it's
but
200, a lot,
exactly.
a lot. And again, like I say, I was just a dummy, but everybody else, you met. There was 200 women. You got to pick the ones that you had something in common with. So I would say most people average 5 to 10 different women
Or
that
more.
they could, or more, that they could date, exchange phone numbers with. It was done very well. It was very tastefully done. It was pretty cool.
Okay. And during that tour, what else happened?
What happened on the tour?
Yeah. Did you
Oh well,
did you meet me, for example?
crazy, crazy. Because when you first start the tour, again, you got men from all over. So I think we were mostly from the U.S. But we show up, and then the next day after you meet in the hotel, the agency, which was AFA, they have a meet and greet where you meet the manager of the tour, and then you're also supposed to meet your translators. Uh, Again, you have people that speak broken Spanish or a little bit of Spanish, but when you're looking for a wife and you're in another culture, it's probably better to have somebody that knows that culture and can speak fluent Spanish for the date, for the woman,
Yeah.
so that she can understand what's going on. So we were supposed to meet our translators. Well, knowing me, my translator didn't show. I don't think I ever met my original translator ever. But anyway, she didn't show. And so we had already spent the night at the hotel. So a couple of the guys had already, we had already made friendships. And so I think I saw you coming in, and I told one of the guys that I want her to be my translator. The other one didn't show anyway, so I'm not even, that's not a good vibe for somebody that's going to be supposedly picking your wife. So
Yes.
I said I wanted you. I think you had somebody else you were scheduled to translate for, but somehow it worked out. And so that's how I met you, was at that orientation where we were supposed to meet our translator. So that was day one. And so from then on, it was just crazy. It's just been crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was like I was part of the group of the translator. I had a client already assigned, but we translator never showed up. He was like, "Well, I want her." So the other guy never met the other translator, so you switch. And he insisted that much that the manager finally said, "Okay, okay." So
yeah, it was cool.
That marriage tour, I was wheel translator.
Yeah, it was interesting, and I a lot of the guys that came that I made friends with, I told them that that Monica was really a good person. She really cared about you, even though I didn't get a wife. She cared about you. And so, I wanted them to utilize her services. So, I was able to, get some other the guys connected with her. I didn't, again, like I said, I screwed up on the tour. So I didn't have, I didn't go out on much experience for the 10 days.
Yeah, and you did everything I told you not to do. That was exactly what you would do.
Exactly. Again, I wouldn't change it. I think looking at everybody's outcome, I think I did pretty good.
Yes. Well, I wanted to ask you something. Like most of the people that come to Colombia trying to find a wife, maybe most of them don't come on a tour. They come on their own. So they don't know anything about having a translator. They just try to date somebody. What would be your advice? You have been on your dates on your own, trying to speak Spanish, doing it with your device, I don't know how, and you have had a translator as an extra person translating your date. What was it like? Because most of the people haven't had that experience.
Can get a translator, get one. Number one, in my opinion, getting a wife is a little bit different coming down just with your buddies for a weekend. If you're just coming out for a weekend and you're gonna hang out at one of their, Colombia has a whole lot of areas for tourists in the different barrios, and you can hang out in any of those and meet some locals. That's one thing. But if you're coming down and you're going to stay for a period of time, or you think you're going to be revisiting, you want to meet some serious people that live in Colombia, it's best to have a translator. That's number one. Number two, I would do some research. A lot of people only hear what other people tell them, and then they don't do no research, and they come here and they spend most of their time, researching the country as opposed to enjoying it. And so a lot of times it's not like what somebody else tells you, because that's their experience. That's what they experience. It could be completely different. So I would say do your research, but definitely you want to get a translator if you can. Definitely.
Okay. So was
And
that
Monica's a good one.
for you?
She's a good one. So if you don't know, hit her up down there. She can translate for you.
Yes, they'll do it.
Yes.
It was a funny story. What you were talking about me going into your wallet. That was I. There are some things I did like naturally, take trying to protect you, but it was like so horrible for you.
Oh, well, culture. That's why I said, you want to know the culture. Uh, again, the United States is a melting pot of a bunch of different cultures, and we all just live under the same. We live on the same state, in the same country. But we got Chinese, we have African, Hispanic, Black, white. We all do things different. In Colombia, they are all Colombian. So even though it may look different, they may live in different parts of the state or the country, they are. And so we do things different. One of the things that's different with us and them is privacy. Privacy in Colombia, and again, this is probably why they have 80-year-old people that look like they 50, because they don't stress over the little stuff like we do. So we had an experience when we were out. I just met Monica, like I said, during this trip a couple of days ago. And one of the things you're going to learn coming to Colombia is they have a different currency. So they're dealing in pesos and we deal in dollars. And so when you try to purchase something, you're going to have to quickly know what what the conversion rate is, so you know what you're paying.
Yeah.
Well, you could have a line of people behind you, people trying to move. It would be like in the States, if somebody didn't know what a dollar was and they sitting there taking forever trying to pay for something for a dollar. You're gonna get frustrated standing in that line. So in Colombia, I'm trying to figure out what this lady or this person's telling me the price of this product is. And Monica just reaches in my wallet, grabs some money, and pays the person. So to me, like I said, my natural reaction is, kind of like you went in my private space. It would kind of be like touching a woman's boob. You know, I'm sure they would look at you like, "What are you doing, dude?" It wouldn't be normal. So that wasn't normal for me. But again, like she said, that's their culture. It wasn't like she was trying to look in my wallet or taking something out extra. And so it just startled me for a moment. It definitely startled me. It wasn't something I was used
Yeah,
to.
I remember you told that story to all of the other persons on the tour.
Oh yeah. Well, you want people to know, like, hey, this could happen to you. This is like I said, a cultural difference, and it's harmless. So don't freak out. Don't freak out. And it's a lot of them. It's a lot of cultural differences that if
You
you don't
wanna tell
know,
some like pick three examples?
okay, finance. Again, if you're coming here, and this is where again I think men don't really understand the situation. You leave in America for a reason. You came all the way to whatever country you visit, whether it's Colombia, whether it's South America, whether it's Africa, no matter where it is. It's a few things you should know. Number one, you should try to speak their language. You can't go to their country and expect them to speak your language. You went to their country. That's number one. Number two, if you go into somebody's country and you trying to date them or marry them or romance them, then you should be able to afford whatever you're trying to do. So, an example, I love chicken and I love bacon. Those are my favorite dishes. But if I'm in Colombia, or shrimp, but if I'm in Colombia and they like uh, Italian food, pasta, I don't like Italian food at all, period. It's just not, if it's heavy, I don't eat it. If that's what they like, then I would go to that restaurant because I'm in Colombia. I think a lot of men come to Colombia and they want to do what they want to do, or they don't want to spend the money, and they don't really understand the culture, and that can screw up your whole trip. So, I would tell people again, do your research. When you come here, or go there, be a gentleman, go to places you can afford. That's why I say do your research. So you're not going somewhere you can't afford. But do your research. Go to places that they want to go to, and you can afford whatever's on the menu. So that way you're not oh my God, don't order that because I can't afford it. You know what I mean? Then you shouldn't go to that restaurant. You know what I mean? So pick something that you can afford, whatever's on the menu, uh, and it's the food that they like. That's one of the things I would suggest. Number two, second thing I would suggest is don't be time. Like if somebody says it will be because again, if you do research, you'll know that the transportation is very difficult. It's not like they are being, they don't care about your time. You're going to hear a lot of that from people that visit, and it's not true in most cases. It's the traffic. Like I said, people have bad traffic. Their culture doesn't plan for that. It's not her, it's the culture. And so that's the second thing. Don't freak out if she's late. You know what I mean? Uh, and the last thing is be smart. You know, I mean, these Colombian women did not choose to be beautiful. So they don't look at themselves as being beautiful. So if you get a clown, you know what I mean, you can get yourself in trouble. So don't just look at their beauty and don't think about what you're doing. And what I mean by that is inviting people to your apartment that you don't know. You know, I wouldn't do that. You know, I would do stuff in public places. You know, uh, just being smart. You know, so those are the three things that I would say. You know, your finances, time, and just not being stupid.
Okay. I think that is gonna help a lot of people. Yes,
I hope so. I hope so.
because when the Americans come to Colombia, especially Medellin, one thing they freak out is about the timing. And
Mhm.
normally, I would say like 90% of your days are gonna be late.
Yep.
Even if it is 10 minutes but most of the time you got to know they are gonna be late.
Mhm.
Don't freak out on that.
And it's tough. You know, again, most Americans have never had an opportunity to date somebody that looks like a Colombian. So that is just, you know, it's an honor that most of men don't get in their lifetime. And so when you get it, you start freaking out on
Well,
every little detail.
yes.
You know,
And
because you
what
don't
you were
understand the
saying is
culture.
true. Like another thing that was interesting for me is that most of the times when you set up a date, there's food involved. You there? Are you there? Okay, so most of the time there is food included. Like if you invite somebody in the morning, they expect to eat something. Even if it's
Mhm.
something light, they are expecting that. So I say that because some Americans that I know can spend like their breakfast is like at 11 in the morning, 1
Yep.
p.m. and so they don't even think about that the other person is hungry. And Colombians are always hungry.
Always hungry. Guys, they are always hungry.
Yeah,
So know
that I
that.
can tell.
Know that. Know that. And again, that is right. You have to you have to understand when you are over here, or I say over there, because I'm not in Colombia right now. Uh, their expectations are for you to be a gentleman.
Oh yeah.
In most cases, your expectations, hard relationship, like your walls are up, your defense is up, and it's not a fair representation. You know, the Colombian women are not the American women. So when you come over there mad at the way you were treated in America, that's not a fair representation in Colombia. So, go there acting like a gentleman. Uh, and I'm telling you, you'll have a much better time than if you go there mad, and you don't want to do certain things that you know that's right because you're mad at the American woman. You know, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that.
That's true. All right. So today the show was about telling you a little bit how did we met. It wasn't a normal
No,
a normal
no,
introduction like we met on a bar or something. No.
no,
I have
no.
been with him in dates where I am not the date.
Oh yeah. But it was good because I learned a lot. You know, again, like I said, I didn't get married, thank God, uh, because I wasn't ready. Uh, I thought I was, but I wasn't. What I wanted, again, you had these crazy visions, and what I wanted didn't exist. And so it was good that I was able to learn Colombia, enjoy the culture, and not do something that I would have regretted.
Okay, so when you came to Colombia, you needed a translator, right? Now it's
Right.
7 years after that. Do you still need a translator or you speak Spanish?
Uh, Pequeño, Pequeño.
Poquito?
I speak enough to where, you know, I could let them know I'm a gringo for sure. Uh, but no, I wouldn't need a translator. I wouldn't need necessarily somebody there for every sentence. But I still think, no, I still think if you're talking about getting married again in another country, just like you wouldn't do a business deal in another country without an attorney, I would not look for a wife in any country without a translator. I just think it's going to, you can't Google everything, you know, and I know
Exactly.
people that try to use the phone and they try to Google stuff and uh, it this doesn't work as well as
And
if
I
you
would
have
and I
that.
would add to that that when it's conversations that are superficial, like what kind of food you like, where do you live, and all that
Right.
stuff, translator can make mistakes and it's not that big of an issue. But if you're trying to know like who's got the custody of your kid, if we want to live to the States, can we take your kid? Are you divorced? Is that on paper or you just that kind of situations of or conversation that are deep, you really need help.
You help. And I
There's
will
no
say
room for
this,
mistakes on that.
your girl is never gonna like your translator. So don't even
Oh
try to make
no.
that happen. She's gonna hate her. Uh, the minute it gets serious with the girl, whoever they hook you up with, the first thing she's gonna want you to do is get rid of the translator.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, fight that to the end. Because again, like your attorney and your doctor, the job of the translator is to protect you. You know, again, you know, just like you going after something, they going after something too. The woman you trying to date. And if you don't have somebody in there to protect you, explain to you the culture or what's going on, you could, you know, you could find yourself um, in a bad situation. And it's not their fault. You just didn't understand what was going on. And so one of the best things I could have done was meet Monica. Like I said, establish a friendship first. I would tell you guys do that because that way you're going to see if somebody really like you for you, or do they just like you because of what you bring into the table. Uh, you know, you definitely want to do that. Don't just try to go out there on your own with some broken Spanish. Meet somebody at the club and try to turn her into wife. No.
Exactly. All right. So I think today's show was a very interesting show, full of tips that you need to know before you come to Colombia. And I hope this was helpful for you and you enjoyed our show.
Thank you guys. See you on the next one.
Ciao, ciao.